We all like money. Money can buy food, cars, luxurious clothes, and that fox bed for Gwendolyn.
So cute!
Financial advisors tell you to not rely on only one source of income and expand your options. Invest in different stocks and real estate. And for you, potential victim of fraud, investor, I have a program called Alt Eco that you can invest in to bring home the big bucks. All you need to do is deposit the money into this account. Alt Eco pertains to cash generation through towers and abilities. There are two types, cooldown-based and round-based Alt Eco. Let's start with cooldown-based Alt Eco. This includes Sniper Supply Drop, Druid Jungle's Bounty, and Heli Pilot Support Chinook. These drop a huge amount of cash after a certain amount of time through an ability.
Wait a minute!
What else gives money after a certain amount of time? Yes, these are essentially just bigger eco with a bigger interval, which means we can also convert these alt eco into something called effective eco. Effective eco essentially is the equivalent money you get if the ability had a 6-second interval like one eco boost. For example, Heli Chinook takes 60 seconds for an ability and gives out 4,000 money. To get 6 seconds, like an eco boost, we need to divide the 60-second cooldown by 10, which means we also divide 10 to the money given to get 400, which is the Chinook's effective eco. This means the Chinook is an added 400 eco to your current eco. You might be thinking, well, what's the point of alt eco if you can just straight up eco instead? Well, alt eco allows you to sink in money into more cash generation while also sending eco. You generate more eco this way since full sending eco has the limit of how fast the Bloon can send. And in some cases like the Chinook, it actually builds eco faster than just full sending yellows. Another benefit of alt eco is that they are still a tower that go tonk. So not only are you pumping in money to make more money, but it can also serve as your defense, allowing you to greed even more. Here are some tips for each of the round-based alt eco. For Sniper Supply Drop, you usually get at least a 0-3-2 before round 11 or round 13 comes, because this will become your main defense for the rush. If I can't get a supply drop in time, I usually get another 2-3-0 to defend the rush, then either save to upgrade one to a supply drop or sell the other sniper to get a supply drop immediately. For Druid's Jungle Bounty, there are a few ways you can play it. You can spaced eco and get it early around round 7, or you could hard eco early then get a few around round 13 so that it can also serve as your mob defense when round 17 hits. Then full eco while placing more druids with their extra money. It really depends on what you need. Maybe you struggle against whites pretty early so you get a 0-3-0 to help out, which you then upgrade to a 0-4-0, or you get a bunch of 0-4-0s to serve as your mob defense. For Heli Chinook, you should full eco until you get around 1000 to 1500 eco, then save up for your first Chinook and keep on placing until you cover the map. Since, like I said before, Chinooks are better than full grouped yellow eco. Although, be warned that around the time you save up for your first Chinook is also when mobs come out, so maybe buying a mob shop for the time being instead of a Chinook might be smarter. Now on to round-based alt eco, which is mostly farms cause bottom path boat sucks. I might cover both if it becomes worth it, but I have one message for you both. Before we talk about farms, you need to learn about anti-stalling. Do you ever feel that the rounds are faster in Koro than in the wall, or you earn less money compared to docks? That's because each round doesn't always last the same amount of time. The round ends depending on how fast all AI Bloons are popped. Why is this important? Because farms are round based, meaning it doesn't matter how long it is, it's still gonna give the same amount of money. Eco, on the other hand, is timing based, so shorter rounds are bad for eco builds. Therefore, farm users usually place their towers near the AI track to pop the Bloons faster to shorten the round time, giving them advantage in money. You should do this if you are running farms, because if you don't, you're just giving them more money for no reason. Now here is a step-by-step process in proper farming. Eco with group reds until round 2, then eco with space greens until you are 1 eco boost away from a farm. Make sure that you don't eco too much that the eco boost will put you just below $1,100. You need to do some mental jitsu by multiplying your eco by 1, 2, or 3 and adding it to your current money to see if you can reach it. Don't worry about not building eco all the time since your main source of money is the farm. After placing your first farm, eco with exclusively spaced eco because these are the most efficient and lets you build eco while waiting to build up money for your farms or your farm upgrades. The spaced eco you do depends if your opponent gets pressured by space pinks or yellows, or if you are close to an upgrade but have a few extra cash to spend on space greens. Then upgrade your farm to a 2-0-0. Although tempting, don't upgrade to a 2-2-0 because a 25% increase isn't worth with 2-0-0's low income. After the first farm, get 2 more 200 farms, and then save some money while spaced ecoing until you have enough money to get a 320 before or around round 10. Don't forget that this game is not capitalism simulator. You need to defend, so buying upgrades to survive takes priority still. It is a delicate dance with farms and needs a lot of attention to get it right. The 2 other farms upgrade to 203 because we plan to sell them to get a 420. We go for 203 due to the buff in 1.0.6 that gives them extra sellback. Sell what? Yes. You don't get the same amount of money you put into a tower back when you sell it. Specifically, you only get 70% back, but with 203, you can get 80%, which is more efficient than going 300 and selling it after a short amount of time. What happens after this is dependent how the game is going. Go for more 420 farms if you are allowed to greed more, and if you want to go for an XX5, you need to get it before round 19 to abuse the $10,000 you can get every round. I haven't talked about the middle path yet because it doesn't fit the normal farm greed strat, since its ability gives big money one time, but you need to pay a debt that takes half of your income to pay it. So what players usually do is save up a lot of money until around round 20, then get an IMF loan so that the ability is up before round 22. Once round 22 comes, you empty the bank, sell your farms, use the ability, then sell the IMF loan to rush for a heck ton of ZOMGs. Like my previous eco guide, this is the best step-by-step process for building farms, but it depends on your situation. Farms are generally used for early game rushes and not as a pure alternative to normal eco. It's better in early rushes because you can get 70% back the money you put into it when you sell the farm. Compare that to eco where you can't get back the money you put into sending eco. So you might stop following the step-by-step process and sell all your farms if you see that your opponent has a weak spot against lots of Rego Bloons or lots of ZOMGs. Let's look at an example where I stop following the steps and rush to kill my opponent. Here we can see that I have a 320 and 203s ready for a 420, but I get rushed with a Rainbow Rush and narrowly defend it. I see on the opponent's side that they only have a Blade Shooter and Reactor Sub. Those alone can't defend a Rainbow Rush, but they can buy a Maelstrom to defend it. So I send a small test Rainbow Rush to test their micro skills and pressure them so that they are discouraged from rushing me again. But they did nothing and died. CMG players, man. Another deviation you can do with alt eco is that you can humiliate Bloon Trap NG players by not sending eco and focus solely on your alt eco so that no more Bloons enter their trap. Like I said before, going for farm shots is a delicate dance of attacking, defending, and greeding. Figuring out when you can greed more or go all in to put the nail in their coffin. I find farm shots fun because they make the game cutthroat by making you take risks that make you win it all or lose miserably. You need lots of game knowledge to properly decide what to do in given situations, and that honestly just comes with time and by playing the game. And I like that about it. It gives it a high skill ceiling that makes every game feel like I'm learning and improving. Well, that was it for alt eco and all the ways you can earn money in the Oh yeah, village. But you just increase eco though. Yeah, that's really it. Remember to review mistakes from your previous games and improve. Hope you win in your next game, and I'll see you on the battlefield.